My name is Bill West. I work for Dr. Kiran Patel, and I'm the Director of Development for the Clearwater Beach Wyndham Resort Hotel.
So tell me a little bit about the project here.
Well, when I first came on board to work on the project for Dr. Patel, that was the beginning of 2011. At that point, Dr. Patel had already gone through a development process where he got all of his entitlements for the project. But at that time, we were still coming out of the troubled economy, and which was still a difficult time to start building a project of this magnitude, or any project for that matter. So the first thing I did when I started working for Dr. Patel back in 2011 was secure his existing entitlements and all of his development rights he already had in place. So from 2011 to last December, we worked on the design of the project, did some redesign, changed the concept around a little bit, and which is currently planned as a hotel and a timeshare project. There's 345 hotel rooms and 105 timeshare units. We broke ground last December, a 2-year project, and we'll be finished in looking to open up for business in the first quarter of 2017, hopefully around January.
So obviously this is a very, ambitious project. Can you talk a little bit about the funding and financing mechanisms that are going into it, and what the overall estimated cost would be?
Okay, the actual estimate, or the actual construction cost, is right around $100 million. That's just the hard construction cost. It doesn't include the soft costs or the furniture and equipment that go into the project. Dr. K has a bank loan with Bank of America. There's other bank participants, but they're the primary lender. And that was actually one of the more challenging accomplishments that Dr. K achieved in pulling this project off. For a project of this magnitude, and for an individual, that's a pretty remarkable feat in and of itself.
You mentioned a little bit about how the economy had slowed construction plans. Why do you think now is a good time to break ground and get a project like this going? Has the economy rebounded enough to where you think you'll be able to fill these rooms?
Oh, absolutely. Clearwater Beach has a pent-up demand for several hundreds, if not thousands, of hotel rooms. We actually think that the additional hotel rooms that are being planned and constructed right now is just only going to be a benefit to not just Dr. Patel, but for all the other hotel users on the beach, where this is a full-service hotel, which just means that it's going to have some of the amenities that you don't see in the select service, limited service business. So great time to be building a project of this magnitude. We started this project at a perfect time, right before costs escalated to the point where they have right now. So very good timing, I believe, is, with respect to the start of the construction.
I know, part of the project is being planned through the EB-5 program. Can you tell me a little bit about that program and why you and Dr. Patel decided to choose that route to help with the hotel project?
Well, Dr. K, I refer to him as Dr. K. Dr. Patel has really been spearheading that effort. That's probably one area that I've probably not been quite as involved in. I've helped facilitate that process. I will tell you that EB-5, nothing on this project has been contingent with EB-5 financing. As I mentioned before, this is a conventional loan that Dr. K has. This is another financing mechanism to bring in some outside, more affordable equity. And again, it's a process that you're seeing more and more across the country. It's very time-consuming, lengthy process to get where we've got, or where Dr. K has got on the EB-5. But again, it's really a secondary funding process to this whole project.
Now, obviously, when you talk about projects of this magnitude, a lot of people want to know about the jobs, and I assume, obviously, there's going to be a lot of jobs being pumped in now through construction and when the opening of the hotel, correct?
That is absolutely correct, and as a matter of fact, one of the key components to even getting EB-5 approved is the number of jobs that it creates. A project of this magnitude creates hundreds of permanent jobs, not to mention a couple thousand temporary jobs.
Tell me a little bit. I know, obviously the location here seems to be ideal. Do you think the location aspect is what's really going to set this hotel apart from maybe others that are going under construction around beaches in Florida?
Absolutely. I would say that this is one of the most premier pieces of property. I think Dr. Patel recognized that when he purchased this property several years ago. We happen to be at what we call Main and Main, the epicenter of Clearwater Beach. We're right across from the landmark iconic pier. It is also the beginning of the beach walk that the city spent millions of dollars to restore and revitalize. So it's going to just be a wonderful catalyst to the entire beach. But just because of its sheer prominence and location on the beach, it's going to speak volumes with respect to its hopefully very successful future.
I know you mentioned this a little bit, but what type of visitors do you plan to draw? Do you think it'll mostly be international, or what do you think is sort of going to drive tourism in the future as our economy continues to build?
Well, I think, and again, I'm not a marketing expert, but I would say that my understanding is that the foreign market continues to increase as far as the number of tourists that come here. This has been the entire West Coast has been very popular with a lot of the Midwestern tourists. I think that it will continue to be, and I think that's its strongest tourism base to date, as well as a strong local tourist base here that just come over from Tampa as well. It's the closest, most convenient destination for somebody on Tampa to come to the beach.
I know you've done a lot of development work before. What sort of sets this project apart from some of the others that you've done in the past that really, when you think of this project, makes it different?
I would say that it's very unique in the sense that it is a mixed-use project with respect to the fact that we've got a hotel and a timeshare component, which is hospitality in nature. It's not a condominium residential development. It's not a hotel. It's something in between from a layman's standpoint, which is somewhat unique as far as that composition. So that makes it unique and challenging. The sheer size and magnitude of this, when you look at the size, the number of amenity components, the ballroom, the two restaurant facilities we have, there's a lot of very detailed, intricate coordination that goes into a project like this versus some of the other projects that may have been a little bit more straightforward. They may have been as big as this from a cost standpoint, but this one has some complexities that are a little bit beyond what I've faced in the past. We actually have a partner in this deal with Wyndham. Wyndham is our partner that is really going to own and manage the timeshare component. So as far as the business model and the operations of that, Dr. Patel doesn't really concern himself with that. So essentially what makes this unique is there's, for lack of a better word, there's almost two owners on this property. Dr. Patel will be the sole manager and control all of the operations of the entire facility, and where the Wyndham timeshare guests will be the beneficiary of the amenities. They have the rights and the use of the amenities. But with respect to sales projections, economics of that's not something that Dr. Patel or his team gets involved with.
Why partner with obviously there's a lot of successful, hotel brands. Why partner with Wyndham? What sort of sets that brand apart, or you guys think will make this a successful project? Wyndham
is by far, without any distant second player in the arena, the granddaddy in the vacation / timeshare arena. So they've got this down to a science. There's nobody that even competes with them, and really just a perfect partner for a concept like this. We're about 40% complete right now. We'll be topped out with this building in about 2 or 3 weeks, certainly by the end of November, right on schedule. As you can see, the glass is starting to go in. They're framing the interior right now. At this point, things are really going to start to become very exciting for somebody like myself. There's going to be a lot of activity. This is where the fun really begins on a project like this. And by this time next year, this will look like a finished project. We'll start to bring in all the furniture and the equipment in this project. And within a couple of months from this time next year, say January 2017, we'll have what they call heads to beds. The gross square footage of this project is around 700,000 square feet. What I mean by that is we've got a parking garage that includes the gross square footage. If you take all of that out, we're just looking at about conditioned space. We're probably closer to about 400,000 square feet.
A typical unit.
Oh, a typical unit? Well, a hotel's fairly standard in size, around 500 square feet. The timeshare vacation units range anywhere from 1,000 square feet to 4,000 square feet, from one-bedroom units to four-bedroom presidential suites.
And how high are the two towers?
There's 16 floors or levels.